When are we going to realize that these expectations we have of men in the dating world are a little bit absurd? 6 feet tall, six figures, handsome, has to pay, has to plan, has to bring a gift? Are we serious?
Apparently so. And as ridiculous as it sounds, that's what women are chasing these days, the top 1% of men. And it's fueling an epidemic of female loneliness. Today we'll be looking at, all my friends in their 30s are single, women are losing their minds to the wall. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps support the channel. Let's get started.
All right, bitches, I'm $30,000 in debt from divorcing an abusive man who moved into my house with all of his stuff in a trash bag. And now I'm telling my life story on TikTok to try to recoup some of those funds. So if you could please stay and watch this all the way through to the end and press all of my buttons, you would really be being a girl's girl. Where we left off in the story, I'm 22 years old. Me and my boyfriend at the time had gotten into a very bad domestic altercation and the police are there. As soon as we pull up, they separate us, ask us what happened, and I tell them. Got into a verbal disagreement that led to a physical altercation. He bashed my windshield in and I gave him the fucking business. I am a very small person. Because of how small I am physically, this guy thinks I'm full of shit and doesn't believe my story. Okay, so for reference of how small I am, this is me next to a very normal sized tomato plant. I'm 4'11". Also, this dude had a very unique last name because he was a first generation Polish immigrant and his brother was a police officer. So they did not want to believe that he did anything that would mean they had to take him to jail too. Have us both sitting on the curb handcuffed and they're asking him very leading questions in front of me, like, did she do this to you with her car? And he has the opportunity to lie to the police and say that everything that happened was my fault and to get out of this scot-free. He makes eye contact with me and looks like he's debating on throwing me under the bus, and then he admits to everything and we both go to fucking jail. I don't know why they did this, but they put us in the back of the car together and he immediately starts talking cash money shit to the cops. He's like, you've never argued with your girl before? Should we take you to jail every time you get into an argument with your wife? And he's like, me and my wife have never argued. We've been married for 25 years. My boyfriend's like, yeah, I bet it's because you're married to some fat, ugly bitch. Then, as if that is not enough, he just keeps fucking going. He's like, I bet you're one of those incel losers and you bought yourself that fucking wedding ring. I bet you don't even have a wife, you pathetic fucking pig. I am aghast. I am like, well, to get him to shut up, he decides to hit the fucking gas and then immediately hit the brake so that we face plant right into the fucking gate. Ended up giving those police officers such a hard time that they put him in a turtle suit and a spit mask. I call my baby daddy. He gets in touch with my stepdad who sends money and they come and bail me out. And then me and this guy break up. So now it's like April or May of 2015. I'm 23 years old. My stepdad, who had raised me my entire life, and moved to South Dakota after my mom had died from cervical cancer. It's been a couple of years. He's about to get married to another woman and they are expecting a child. I'm at work, I'm a waitress. It's like a slow Thursday or something. So I'm just sitting there on my phone, rolling silverware, waiting for some tables to come in. And my grandmother had just built a brand new house and posted pictures of it all over Facebook. So I'm stalking my grandma's Facebook. I noticed in the comments that a lady named Stacy has commented and said, oh my God, your house looks beautiful. I can't wait to come and see it. In the little icon picture, it looks like someone that I recognize from my childhood. So I go and click on their profile, and sure enough, it's my next door neighbor from whenever I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. And then you know how people have a background picture on their fucking Facebook? There's literally like a professional photography family photo of her entire family, and right in the fucking middle is a kid that looks identical to my dad. So I'm literally at work and just found out by stalking people on Facebook that my dad cheated on my mom and had an illegitimate child behind her back.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is honestly a pretty crazy story. There are two things I can say here. First, she's the one telling the story, so I highly doubt she's going to paint herself as the villain. Second, based on her family history, I'm convinced she has a pattern of going after losers she thinks she can fix, only to turn the whole relationship toxic afterward. Let me tell you something. Whenever you're dating a woman, take a close look at her family. Pay attention to her relationship with her father. Look at the kind of friends she keeps. Understand what her family dynamic was like growing up. Because trust me, those things will tell you almost everything you need to know about her. And they can save you from getting into a relationship with a toxic woman who could ruin your life. Because believe me, The wrong woman can absolutely ruin your life.
Okay, dating update for y'all. It's been a while, and I have a confession to make. I've literally only been on one date this year. I can't believe I'm saying that, because my whole thing was, when I came on here last time, I was going to put myself out there a lot more, go to more things, be more confident, just really give things a go. And I kind of haven't. It's like the pattern that I go into. What I do find really hard is, like, having turned 40 now, my lifestyle is very much like work and going to the gym and like seeing my girlfriends. I don't actually go out very much to go and meet men, because also when I do go out, I never, ever, ever get approached, which I don't know why, because a lot of my girlfriends around my age always do. I don't know if it's the vibe I'm giving. Maybe I've got resting bitch face. I don't know. I feel like I'm very approachable. Who knows what the reason is, but yeah, haven't had much luck in that space. I also had the worst date in history on the apps, and I just feel like every time that I do go on the apps, Hinge is the one that I'm using, I don't know, like I just can't be bothered with the chats. There's too much back and forth. I'm just much more of an in-person person. I prefer to meet someone organically, and I've probably had like 6 or 7 like flops, and I'm just like, oh, it's just really deflating. What does a gal do at 40 years old when a lot of her friends are married with kids to find a guy? Like, is there a good matchmaking service out there? I can't believe I would ever say that, but I'm at the point where I'm just like, someone do the work for me. I don't know. But I'm sitting in a hotel room by myself, which is also fine, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want a little friend.
I've never been more convinced that men do everything for the male gaze than I am today. So I have been off the dating apps for a while, mostly. I would occasionally dabble with Hinge, but not really. And this week I re-downloaded Tinder because I was bored and ovulating. And I realised that I am only attracted to men who understand the female gaze, which is why I like a lot of the gays. But if I get a whiff of anything that you're doing is based around the male gaze, it immediately puts me off, because I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get women. You're not going to get me. This is never going to work. And by this, I mean, on your dating app profile, having pictures of a football stadium or a football club badge. Like, there's no woman wants to see that. I would, like, maybe 1 in 1,000 women will want to see that on your dating app profile. Other men might be interested in that for sure. If you want to find some male friends, definitely. They'd probably love to know what club you support. I don't want to know. And it will actively put me off your dating app profile. The topless pictures. Again, you might be really buff, great, but like it gives me the ick on the dating app, because that's for like, you know, a month or 2 down the road. That's not for now. You might think that because men like to see women in their underwear that we want to see you in yours. We don't. I'm telling you, I promise you. So yeah, I think the men need to get on board with the female gaze, especially when we're in a culture where dating apps seem to be the only way that you're going to meet people. Then you have to present yourself in a way that is going to be appealing. And unless you figure out the male gaze, you're never going to do that.
There's an epidemic of single women over 30. Just look at these women, not in their 30s, but in their 40s, and they're still on dating apps searching for the man of their dreams. They wasted their best years, and now that they're at an age where starting a family is much harder, now they want to settle down. Here's what's interesting. Men often hit their prime after 30, financially, mentally, and if they've taken care of themselves physically, they have the opportunity to date younger women. They also have the ability to provide a home and build a family. That's one of the advantages of being a man. Just 1 year of working on yourself can completely change your life.
Honestly, like, really ashamed to say this, like, especially as a woman, but like sometimes like getting catcalled doesn't suck. It's a really big like love-hate relationship, because like you get catcalled, right? And you're like, ugh, disgusting. And then you're like, I'm totally gonna wear this outfit more often though. Like today I was walking and some guy was like, nice outfit. And I'm like, ugh. But like now, like this outfit's gonna be in my rotation. I don't know if this makes any sense. Like sometimes when you're just like honestly like not really feeling yourself and then you get catcalled, it's like it kind of makes your day like a little bit. Obviously if they're in your face, it's not okay. But if it's a quick little drive-by, it's like, I don't know, sue me.
I've been getting a lot of questions recently on why I chose to be single this year. I've also been getting a question like, how are you single? It's always from the people that it's unfathomable that I could possibly not want to be in a relationship with a man right now. And there are a lot of, if you don't follow me, I chose 2026, I'm going to be single the entire year for a multitude of reasons. But mainly, I am never going to date a man just to date a man. My end goal at the end of the day when it comes to men is to be married. I see very, very little value in dating just to date. There are some points where I understand the value in like dating around and meeting a bunch of different people. I do kind of see the value in that, but personally, I just can't do that. Because if I like you enough to be speaking to you on a day-to-day basis, going and hanging out with you, I have to want to be with you. I can't just like, oh, go hang out just to hang out. No, I'm never going to be with a man just to be with a man. I don't need you like that. I have a extremely full life. I have the best people in my life. I am gone almost every other weekend. But even if I wasn't, I hold so much value in human connection that if you are not someone that I really want to be with, I'm not gonna just hang out with you and string you along. Like I don't want to be texting someone every single day. I don't want to go on dates with you and spend quality time with you. I can't be intimate with you. That's for damn sure. If I don't like you and see a future with you. That's just, I don't get that. And when people are like, you don't want to just date and like go talk to men and like go on dates? No, hell no. I want to go be on the lake with my friends. I want to work as hard as I can and make as much money as possible to get to another end goal with my husband, hopefully one day. Like I am never going to be with a man just to be with a man. Any girl can have a boyfriend. I could have a boyfriend right now if I wanted one. It depends on how picky you're being. And I want someone that is different than every other man I've ever met in my life. So we're just working with odds here. I also don't want a relationship. I want my person, and my person is worth waiting for. So that's why I'm single this year.
Stop it. Get some help.
First, every woman loves a compliment or being hit on. The only problem is who it's coming from. If it's from a Chad who won the genetic lottery, it's seen as a sweet compliment. But if it's from an unattractive guy, it's suddenly harassment. That's how it works. But yes, they love the attention. As for the second woman, she doesn't feel any urgency because her friends are probably single too. The moment her group of friends starts finding men and drifting away because they see her as competition. And you guys know the saying that women don't have friends, only competition. The moment that starts happening, she'll suddenly start saying she wants to meet someone. The only thing is, she's always trying not to look desperate. But we all know she's hit the wall. And the wall doesn't forgive.
The male loneliness epidemic is about to get so much worse because men will really act like if you're existing and they're not allowed to shoot your shot or try to get with you, it's a personal insult. Example, a few months ago, I went to an art gallery and this guy tries to hit on me. I say, oh, I'm married, show him the ring. And he goes, oh, look at you with your fake ring. And I'm like, oh, look at you, you're alone. Another example, I go out, same situation, show the guy the ring and he goes, oh, you're mean. You're a tease. And I'm like, I am just existing in the same place that you are. But sure, I'm mean. I'm a tease because you can't shoot your shot at me. Are we being serious right now? Are we really not seeing how idiotic that way of thinking is? Women have the most mobility they have ever had. And some men, I guess they were just expecting to just have a woman fall into their laps and not have to develop the skills of kindness, empathy, consideration. And by the way, I know that sweet men exist. I know a lot of them. I don't envy men who are really sweet and just shy because that's kind of a hard place to be in 2026. Like, I understand that. My point is to say that the men who are acting entitled are going to continue to be disappointed.
As a woman, I think it is time that we all wake up to the fact that marriage is not an aspirational pursuit. The pursuit of it is actually making people extremely miserable. And those who are in marriages are also usually miserable. The modern notion of marriage was invented as a mechanism of property transfer, hence the dowry, hence taking the husband's name. You are essentially just signing up to be an asset of his. What's really unfortunate is we don't get enough evidential data points from women who are older and what they wish they did differently. Thanks to things like social media, we actually now do, right? And the number one regret that so many older women have is that they got married to the wrong person and gave up their dreams and didn't figure out what it was that they actually wanted to do in life. Like, it's all quite smart how they've done it, right? Make women romanticize the idea of their own entrapment.
Oh, hell no!
The majority of men's behavior is driven by seeking the validation of other men. And to the extent that women don't fully internalize this, they will always be taken advantage of by these men. I can recall an inflection point in every single one of my past relationships where the man that I thought that I was dating revealed his true character, and that would usually be displayed in a public setting in a group of other men. The values and beliefs that he claimed to have in private suddenly went out the window the moment that other men were involved. Even if they did not directly participate in whatever toxic conversation was happening, whether it was misogynistic or racist in nature, not once did they ever put their neck out and stand up to whatever was going on, even if they claimed to have those beliefs in private. And that is because for men, the pain of being socially rejected by other men far exceeds their desire to be a good person or whatever they think they are. So just know as a woman that you don't ever truly know the man that you're dating unless you see him in a group with other men, point blank.
There is no epidemic of male loneliness. In this country, there are more women than men. So if all those supposedly single men that women keep talking about actually left the dating market, who would be affected the most? Women. And congratulations to that guy for doing his homework, even if he still ended up talking to a feminist. Marriage isn't the only path in life, but it does provide purpose. And that's what we're seeing today. Women who are alone, lacking direction, and still spending their 30s and beyond going to bars and clubs instead of building something meaningful with their lives. That's what's truly sad. Gentlemen, the wall doesn't forgive.
Women.
Sit down because we are talking boys and relationships in your 20s. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion from my personal experience and just like where my mindset is at. If you're in a happy relationship watching this and you're in your 20s, I'm so happy for you. Keep making it work and keep building yourself together. Now, for my single girlies, a man should genuinely be at the bottom of your priority list in your 20s. This is the youngest we're ever going to be. This is the time to be independent. This is the time to build yourself. This is the time to experience life, travel, wear what you want to wear, go out with your girls. Like, genuinely, your 20s is to be your baddest version of yourself, your most successful version, and to build the life of your dreams and to gain life experience. We're not wasting our time with men that don't know how to communicate, don't know how to tell you what they want. We're not playing snap games, okay? We're not having a roster. We're not trying to decode what it meant that he left me on opened for an hour, but then he double snapped me, but then it was at 1 a.m. So does that really count? No, that's stupid. Literally go to the gym, do your homework, find a hobby. Don't give men that time. It's genuinely not worth it. I absolutely believe that the right person will find you at the right time, and that person will make it so known to you that they want you and they will give you the treatment that you deserve. There will never even be a question in your mind. And let's say even if you are in a relationship, going back to how valuable time is, maybe I'm delusional, but I think that when you meet the right person, you will know and you will be so obsessed with them and everything about them that it will just feel so right. Because it's a really hard situation sometimes when you're in a relationship and there's nothing completely wrong, but it doesn't feel completely right. You deserve to be with someone that checks all of your boxes, that gives you the treatment that you want, and genuinely you just feel so crazy in love with them, loved by them. Like, there should be no doubts in your mind. So if you're in a place where maybe there's nothing wrong, but it doesn't feel completely right, leave, okay? Because you will find your person. There is better out there. Just because you feel comfortable right now, maybe this person has been in your life for a really long time, does not mean that that person is right for you. And it's scary to leave, but I truly believe if you are having any doubts at all, you owe it to yourself to understand why those doubts are there. Especially as women, we have crazy intuition. Listen to it, okay? Don't waste that time. My mom once told me the longer that you stay on a train, the more expensive it is to get back. And that is so true, okay? Don't just stay with someone because, you know, it might get better. You might fall more in love with them. No, if you are not feeling it, if it does not feel right to you, don't waste your time because you're also wasting their time. Leave. And also, don't let people make you feel crazy for having high standards because people are going to meet you exactly where your standards are. So if you have lower standards, they're going to be met, but they're going to be met by someone that doesn't treat you very well. But if you have high standards and you have these expectations, someone out there, I guarantee, will meet those for you. They will step up. They will treat you like the princess and queen that you absolutely are, because if you know it, other people have to know it as well. And again, that's going to look different for everyone. Everyone's going to have different priorities in relationships, different ways that they expected to be treated, different, standards of communication, whatever it is. But don't let people tell you that your standards are being too high, because that just means that you have high expectations for yourself. And I don't know, I just don't think that you should ever settle. Something that I've been really focusing on recently is just pouring into myself and building myself up and building myself to the top, and knowing that then I'm going to meet my person at the top. I'm not interested in meeting people down here. I want the best. But in order to have the best, I also have to be the best. So if you focus on pouring into yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, the most successful version of yourself, that is what's going to attract the other people that are focusing on becoming the best versions of themselves, the most successful version of themselves. And then you're going to meet at the tippy top. And guess what? Most people aren't the best versions of themselves at 20, at 22, at 23. And if you're watching this and you are, like, great. You can disagree with me, but at least in my experience, I don't think anyone's the best version of themselves in their early 20s. And again, I'm not saying that you can't meet the love of your life at 20. Like, I totally think that you can. I know a lot of people that are in amazing relationships and they met in high school, and that is so amazing. But for my girls that aren't in a relationship and they're in their 20s and maybe you're feeling lost or maybe you're even feeling behind, I'm telling you right now, we're not behind. You're not behind. There is so much time. So don't focus on that right now. Focus on genuinely anything else besides a guy, and the right person will find you at the right time. But never settle. Don't waste your time playing games. Don't waste your time with someone that's not ready to commit to you, not ready to pour into you, because also men mature so much later than girls. Like, I don't know, that man that you're snapping, that man that you don't know what he wants, the man that's playing games with you, he's not your husband. And if he is, give him some years. Focus on yourself. Men should genuinely be the least important thing in your life right now, okay? We have gains to get, money to make, and ourselves to pour into. Just focus on experiencing life, being the baddest version of yourself, and girl time.
This is the typical advice you hear from a single woman in her 20s who wants to experience life. Ride the carousel. Then, years later, with plenty of baggage and a lot more miles on the clock, she decides she's ready to settle down and starts looking for a good provider. It's the same story over and over again, and it usually ends badly because she has this idea in her head that you'll always be willing to take her back. In most cases, that's simply not true. But those are lessons she'll have to learn the hard way, because one thing is certain: the wall is always waiting for her. The wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before you go, here are a couple of questions for you. Do you think a woman who gets divorced before 25 can truly learn from the experience, or is she likely to repeat the same pattern? At what age do you think a woman really starts to feel the impact of the wall? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. We'll see you in the next video on the wall.